Yes! Finally, Smurfs is animated! Smurfs The Lost Village, directed by Kelly Ashbury, thankfully not Raja Goshnell this time, thank God, and is the animated reboot and the animated adaptation of the Smurfs that we should have gotten in the first place, instead of those god-awful live-action Smurfs which nobody asked for. So Smurfs The Lost Village tells the traditional Smurf story of Smurfette having an identity crisis, and the evil wizard Gargamel and his cat want to capture the Smurfs, and the Smurfs have to go out on this epic adventure throughout their world to uncover a lost village full of Smurfs. Now, the one thing that's all on your minds right now, is Smurfs The Lost Village finally a good Smurfs movie? Is it better than the live-action Smurfs? Is it the movie that the Smurfs fans have always wanted? Well, after giving it a watch, after hoping I wasn't hoping for anything amazing, but I was just hoping for a good Smurfs movie, I can say at least it's just okay. Better than the live-action Smurfs movies, for sure, but still not great, still not even particularly good, but there's definitely more to enjoy with The Lost Village than there was with the Raja Goshnell live-action Smurfs. Thankfully, at least this movie gets some things right, and is okay, harmless, fun, well, at least for the kids, but parents might want to skip it. So, I mean, it's relieving for starters that this movie is animated. That's what the Smurfs should have been in to begin with. This was the Smurfs film they should have made. Well, back in 2011, they should never have incorporated Smurfs into live action. That didn't make sense at all. That was such a bizarre decision. Especially when they made Scooby-Doo into live action, that wasn't the best idea either. But having Smurfs animated turns out and works much better. You get to explore more of the Smurfs world than we ever got in the live action films. It looks better. It's there's a real sense of adventure with this movie. There's infinitely more creativity this time, and it's just nice to just sit back and relax and enjoy the world of the Smurfs for once, and none of the human cities or product placements are anywhere to be found. Oh, what a relief. And at least the characters the Smurfs here are done better. Like Smurfette. Smurfette has always been the main focus of the Smurfs movies, and here her emotional struggle and storyline is done much better. She does, of course, feel left out of Smurfsville, being the only girl in Smurf Village, and the one who was, of course, created by Gargamel, but was saved by Papa Smurf. So this time, the movie didn't execute it so poorly like the Smurfs 2 did. I was actually engaged in her story. I felt for her. I wanted to offer her comfort, and the animation is pretty beautiful and great fun and wonderfully colourful. It's such eye candy. But it's delightful eye candy, and finally we get to see the full version of Smurfsville. Though the animation is not flawless, but I'll get to that in the negatives with this movie. The story is very simplistic, but it's a leagues better story than the live action movies by far. This is the best story in a Smurfs movie that we have ever gotten. May not be an amazing story, but it's good enough for a Smurfs film. It's much more true to the source material, and will leave fans with a big smile on their face. So that's what we want, just a simple adventure in Smurfsville with the Smurfs are trying to outwit Gargamel. And at least the Smurfs are the main focus this time. There aren't any pointless, unnecessary human characters that were just filler in the last two movies. That's a definite bonus, and the voice actors at least do a decent job. But I'm afraid, guys, there's still a lot wrong with this movie. It's still not a great film, or not far from it. This is really aimed at really young kids. Yeah, the comedy may be better than the previous two Smurfs films, but that ain't saying much at all, considering the comedy in them was complete shit. Yeah, so the humour here, just like we saw in the trailers, is pretty poor. I mean, I may have gone, huh, but I never burst out laughing. I never erupted with laughter. You will only laugh at this basically if you're 5 years old. Yeah, that's the target audience for the comedy in this movie. And well, I did say the animation was lovely to look at and nicely done, and looked much more like a Smurfs film. It's not quite Smurftacular, if you know what I mean. It's way too hyperactive and energized. The characters never pause or seem to think. They're just moving constantly. And animators, characters have to pause. They have to, so that we know they're thinking, so that they're alive, so that they're human, so that we can relate to them much easier. Well, I did say the story was the best story you've had in a Smurfs film. That really isn't saying anything. It will please Smurfs fans, but nobody else. I mean, it's just it's still boring. It's still draggy. It's still nothing we haven't seen before. It's not dramatic. It's not epic. It's not groundbreaking. It won't engage or engross the parents. Like I said, it will only engross really young kids. This feels like definitely a movie that should have been released straight to DVD rather than a theatrical release. As well as Gargamel in this movie, he was well, terribly done in the live action Smurfs, but he's still not greatly done here. He's still not intimidating, not memorable, and just a pants villain. Come on, guys, why can't you get Gargamel right? Not to mention the soundtrack of this film. Talk about forgettable. It's just rather than choose to have its own original score, which it really should have done, it's just the same old pop songs that the live action Smurfs film used. Come on, guys, you're better than that. Why not get a talented composer to compose an original score? Why do kids movies like Trolls, Alvin the Chipmunks, and the Smurfs have to resort to pop songs to get young audiences in their seats? Kids are smarter than this. So, while Smurfs The Lost Village is certainly a improvement and a better effort than the Russia Gosnell live-action Smurfs, thankfully we can now forget that the live-action Smurfs bullshit ever happened. It's still just an okay film at best, and I doubt I'll want to see it again anytime soon. I doubt that if you're an adult you'll remember it after you've seen it. But at least I had an okay time. At least if you're a Smurfs fan, then just buy your ticket, ignore what the critics have to say. You will absolutely love this film, and it's at least a harmless, okay time at the movies for me, and it was a miracle and a breath of fresh air after the after watching the Smurfs 2 recently. Thankfully, this is at least a decent enough apology for that. It will do. But can we all agree that Smurfette is adorable? She is so cute. I I have a crush on her. Just as Power Rangers make me want Krispy Kreme donuts, Smurfs the Lost Village makes me want a Smurfette doll. I give Smurfs the Lost Village 2.5 stars out of 5. So yeah, it's not quite Smurftacular, but at least I didn't hate it, so I'll give it that. And props to the people behind it for at least trying. Well, I love you guys, thank you for watching, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I have finally covered the Smurfs movies and can move on to reviewing something different. And what do you think of Smurfs the Lost Village? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. I love making new subscribers, meeting new people, making new friends, and talking to you guys about movies. I really appreciate that. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please follow me on Twitter and on Google+, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.